Okay, we also got our login bonus. How about that? We got 1 whole quartz and 1,000 friend points. That doesn't mean that much though. Right, so. Right, all right, Master Recruit Campaign. All right, we got more stuff, right. We've got Saber Lily, but who gives a fuck about Saber Lily? Right, we got Beginning of the Journey, right, we got more stat cards, Blaze Wisdom, 42 Saint Quartz. Wait a minute, that means we get to roll the gacha again. Hot damn! Well, fuck all this shit. All right. What's this do? Well, actually, wait a minute. Recruiting special. Wait a minute. That's the other thing, isn't it? There are other grab deals going on. I'll explain them as we go. But I think that's to actually reserve, or rather, for the moment during this month, you can redeem a. They give everyone a voucher to celebrate the successful launch of Fate Grand Order in the United States, and you can redeem it for any 4-star servant that you want. I think that's it, but I'm not sure. But let's receive all of this shit before we go anywhere. Yes, Saber Lily, because we needed more 4-star servants. Yes, Saber. Yes, you're fine. I'm never going to use you. Alright, yes, the crafting essence. The beginning of the journey. You know what that gives us? That gives us bonus friend points. Now, you see, whenever someone uses whenever someone uses your servant in the support option, you get 25 friend points, and they get 25 friend points. This little number here makes it so you get 75 friend points. So that's pretty good, isn't it? They gave that to, they gave that to everyone for free because they want us to get up in a, they kind of want to just kind of grab the IV drip and squeeze it to make sure it gets into our veins all nice and in there, so we're all addicted and coming back for more and spending money on this horrible video game. Though actually, honestly, people call it a horrible video game, and aside from the crippling reliance on random chance and the disappointment in there because it crushes your hope over and over and over again, honestly, I like this game. It's a very agreeable hell. But, well, let's close all this now. And now we have 45 Saint Quartz. See what that means? We're gonna roll a gacha again. Because fuck everything else. We need more servants. Okay. Right. We got the friend point summon and the Saint Quartz summon. The 2 things here. Now, before we go, well, I'm gonna do this first, but let me just explain friend points. Yes, friend points, well, they work the same way as quartz, even though, well, they're not as valuable, and all you're gonna get out of here is cheap shit. But they give you fuel to level up. They give you basically cards, which you can use as fuel to level up everything else that in your inventory, and it's basically just kind of like, well, a lot of junk. You can also get, you know, fairly common servants out of this as well. And it costs 2,000 friend points to get a 10 summon, and we have 9,000 right now. So we have plenty. But first, let's get back to that fucking gacha roll, shall we? And also, there is an event going on right now, as you can see. It is the Gilgamesh event. So, Gilgamesh has been added to the drop queue, which means that we can potentially get Gilgamesh if we roll this 10 summon. I say potentially, but it's all random chance anyway. However, we also have these 4 schmucks to actually, well, these 4 servants, one of which, well, now, it's Cuchulainn, the Lancer, Lancelot, oh, well, people who watch Fate Zero will recognize this and know exactly what it is. And Medea and what's-her-face, don't know her. She's fairly, well, she's a 4-star servant. These are all, well, Cuchulainn's a 3-star, Medea's a 3-star, and these 2 are 4 stars. So, these 4 servants also have their drop rates increased, so there's a higher potential that we can get one of them as well. Though, well, potential. These are all random chance, determined things. So, just because there's a higher chance does not mean you're actually going to get it, as some people will inform you sorrowfully. They explain to you how they've dumped hundreds of quartz into this machine, and how they have gotten jack shit. In addition to that, as we saw with the first roll, we can also get crafting essence, and there are also some nice crafting essence numbers over here. Some new ones, they're mostly, well, actually, the new ones are all 4 stars. But without further ado, let's roll the fucking gacha. Let's see what we get! Okay, a rider. Okay. That's a very revealing outfit you've got there, lady. I'll learn how to pronounce that name when I have it in front of my face. Ooh. Like I said, doubles are very good. I'll explain why once we actually get into the crafting menu. Okay. 3-star serving. 3-star crafting essence isn't that bad. Okay, we have a servant. It is a berserker. Those are fun. Okay, Darius the Third. Just in case we need someone to hit things. Okay. More bullshit! Lancer. It's Cucullin. Oh, the old Irishman himself. With his big pokey stick. Another Dragon's Meridian. That increases Noble Phantasm power, so that's actually pretty useful, but not exactly the best thing we can get for that. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. 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 Who did we get? It's a saber. Who is it? Ah! Oh no! It's the boy girl! Oh shit. Ooh. Well, that's one of them new numbers. I gotta see what that does. Oh. Oh no, the black keys. Oh no. And that's all we got out of that. But, well, we got 3 4-star picks out of that shit, and, you know, a couple of servants and some crafting essences, lots of doubles, fucking Chevalier. Why Chevalier? Jesus. Why? Why me? Why couldn't it be Hercules or someone actually good? Ah. But I want to see what this does. Holy Shrine of Magdalene. Increases your defense against male enemies by 25%. Male enemies only. That's very situational. Mary Magdalene, what are you doing? That's a very becoming outfit you've got on there. You kind of looks like you're missing the bunny ears on that whole get-up, but very, very classy. But, well, okay, that's kind of situational. Alright, so what does this do? Again. Right. Increases your critical strength by 25%. You see, that's actually kind of useful. We crit harder, and we have 2 of those. Alright. And now, this one. How do we pronounce your name again? Ushi Wakamaru. Okay. And what's your story? Alright, let's see here. Tengu strategy. Increase all allies NP gain by... Ooh, okay. That's actually not that bad. You should still probably put on a shirt, lady. 8 boat leap. Deal significant damage to a single enemy. Greatly increase C-star drop 3 turns. Affecting... Okay, alright. That's her noble phantasm. And she... Well, because she's a rider, she doesn't really get anything amazing in terms of cards. She gets... Well, she only gets 1 buster card. And like was shown... Each character has 5 cards, and at the start of a turn, they're randomly doled out into your 5 cards that you have in your hand, and at the end of 3 turns, they're all thrown away. Unfortunately, this means that it is only possible out of those 3 turns to get 1 buster card for Wakamaru here. That's kind of shit, but, well, she looks like she's pretty good at generating NP, so that might be also kind of good. However, if we needed someone for generating Noble Phantasm points, we can just go get Zhulang, or as I like to call him, Professor. But, let's see here, because all of these characters are, like I told you, heroic spirits from legend and history. So what's your story here? A military commander with a story so tragic, you could say everyone in Japan knows her name. Although she was gifted with both talent and charisma, she was abandoned by her brother, Yorimoto, and was defeated along with her retainers, including Benki and Benki. There's a period there. Sorry about that. Ushiwakamaru was the childhood name of Minamoto no Yoshitsune. Okay. All right. This is also a history lesson, but well, she seems like she's set for disappointment. Looking at our rolls, I'm kind of disappointed too because we didn't get anyone terribly special, even though we got a shit ton of 4-star servants. So we're actually better off than, well, we're not dead in the water, but it's just sort of like, no one new and amazing from me. Oh well, but well, we've got plenty of people here. All right, and also, for the sake of introductions, it's Chevalier. Chevalier Deton. Or Dehon, my French is bad. But yes, as I said, the boy girl. Spoken of as a woman, yet a man, yet a woman. The legendary figure of the 18th and 19th century France. Skilled at both the pen and the sword, was a superior swordsman and author. Worked as a spy for the intelligence agency against many powerful nations, and acted as an ambassador and dragoon regiment commander. Now, you see, the joke here is that because he was a spy, they autopsied Chevalier, they found a dick, it's a guy. However, in real life, he looked like Benjamin Franklin in rags, so you could kind of say that you could probably, if you weren't paying attention terribly hard, you could in fact say that he might have been a woman, or you might have been confused. That's how he made his living. However, because this is anime land, we now have a boy girl. Which, because of the way this works, there may not actually be anything there, because the gender is indeterminate. Now, let's see here. I'm fairly certain, actually, well, we gotta unlock that. We gotta unlock the bond level. The bond level thing. Like I said at the end of the combat a while back, the bond level. What does the bond level do? It unlocks stuff. And unlocks more information on your favorited servants. Rather, well, on the servants that you use a lot. And also unlocks their special crafting essence all the way at level 10, which takes a long-ass while. But, well, so there's that. And also Darius and Cucullin. Which, well, Darius is pretty self-explanatory, but, well, for the sake of history, I'd like to click on it, please. I know this isn't a phone, but you can, you can get this shit going. Golden rule, increase your NP gain. Well, increase your NP gain. All right, fine, level 1. Right, and you need to also level up your servants in other ways in order to actually unlock the other skills and also increase their levels to a maximum of 10. So, these guys are gonna need a lot of work. Anathan 10,000. Deal heavy damage to all enemies. Alright, increase, right. Increase attack for 3 turns, overcharge, 3 defense, defense. Well, okay, right. It will decrease attack and defense, right. So you hit every enemy on the field and you make them all, anyone who survives, that much more vulnerable. Right, okay. Well, anyway, let's get this show on the road, shall we? We've got a lot to do in the background here before we actually get down to the next part of this. You see, I did actually pronounce it right. Hey, look at me. Hi, Darius. Berserkers can't talk. I'll explain why in a minute. That's not how you say Cucullin. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, vive la France. But okay, so that's done. Alright, now we gotta go in and manage some shit, so hang on, folks. I know you're probably all, all up there and, ready to continue on with this gripping story that we have in front of us. However, now we gotta micromanage some shit, so excuse me. Yeah, right, this is what all the buttons do. Right. But we're gonna be doing our craft essence and our servant leveling. I will explain how you do this. And also, well, I would explain who that is, but we'll get to that later in the story. It's not terribly far away. However, most of the people who don't know what this game is aren't really gonna believe me if I told you anyway. So, let's continue onwards. Now, let's see here. We have doubles of Elizabeth, so let's actually, no, that's the wrong thing. What we need to do is Noble Phantasm level. My bad. In which case we have Elizabeth, and then put her double in, which we don't have enough money to actually do. God damn it. We need money. Shit, I forgot about that. God damn it! Once you actually get rolling, you're kind of rolling in money. So, this isn't really that big of a deal. So, sorry, I forgot how much little money you start with. But, okay, so we'll just go with leveling a servant really quickly here. Or rather, we don't actually have any cards to do that anyway. Okay, so we can't actually do fucking anything. Oh well, never mind. We don't actually have any money to do anything yet. Whoops. But oh well, let's set up our support. Right. So, all of our characters are basically worthless, but, well, putting them out there might get them used. So, what this is the support menu. This is how you arrange the servants that will be used when someone, calls in support from someone else. These are the ones that will appear. So, we don't have that many, so... Oh. Sorry about that. We don't actually have an assassin. That's kind of sad. We don't actually have a caster either. We have, well, Makamaru, or Minamaru? What was it again? Wakamaru, yes. I got it right the first time. Right. And we have 3 Lancers. Well, we'll have Romulus run the show back here. But then again, you should use... Well, I didn't want to click on that. As good as the first king of Rome is, we should use our best servants in our support, which means that they'll get picked and we'll have a better time getting friend points. You see how this works? Archer, we actually don't have any archers, and sabers, well, we have a bunch of them. Well, I'm not actually sure which one we're going to use first. We'll just throw Saber Lily up there because I'm not actually going to use Saber Lily. She can get some use out there with someone else. Alright, so there's that. Now party, which is, well, okay, so we have 26. Right. Unfortunately, we can't replace MASH just this yet, so, oh well. But let's attempt to actually equip the crafting essence on some of them. Yeah, this whole tutorial, yeah, switching in between all this junk, yeah. Right. I keep saying previous, and then next, and then previous. However, what I'm supposed to do is click up here like not a dipshit. My bad. All right. Now, so things we can do here. What's this? Increase your NP gain by 25%. That ain't bad. All right, this is, well, increases your defense 25% against male enemies, which is, again, really, really goddamn situational. But however, yeah, we don't really have all that much to really use. However, and also we're gonna need this, because like I said, that does a thing. Now, I don't actually really have anybody who I can really jam for Noble Phantasm power, so I guess I'll just give that to Elizabeth. Right. Then again, hang on here. What's Elizabeth's profile? Right. What cards do you get? Okay, so it's Quicks and Buster and 1 Art. So actually, you're pretty shit for Noble Phantasm. So let's not actually do that. Even though that's kind of useful to have, you're probably one of the not so great characters to actually have that on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to up your crit rate. And then, on MASH, we're going to give you the beginning of the journey, so we can farm more fucking friend points off of things. And as you see, we've now basically run aground into our cost and cannot do anything else. Wow, amazing. This is the problem you're gonna have early in the game as you try and figure out how to, you know, like, manage the things that you have. Though, quite honestly, we're starting off pretty okay. Not, like, shockingly amazing. We didn't get a 5-star servant, and I don't feel special. However, we're still doing pretty okay here. We still got plenty of servants to choose from of, well, the big assortment of the classes. But speaking of that, I actually want to explain that before we go any further. Right, so the class affinities. This thingy over here. This is a bit complicated, but it's pretty self-explanatory once you actually know where the fuck to look. Okay, so there are 7, well, technically 8 classes in the game. There is Saber, Lancer, Archer, Assassin, Rider, Caster, Berserker, and Shielder. However, Shielder is a special case because the only Shielder in the game is MASH. So, she's a one-off character. So she doesn't actually really matter in most cases. However, this entire thing plays into bonus damage and weaknesses and strengths. So as you see here, a Saber is going to do bonus damage against a Lancer, however is going to take bonus damage from an Archer. See, you can stab somebody with the Lance, but the Archer can shoot him from far away. You see, that's how it works. And of course, in the same light, Lancer does bonus damage to Archer because he has a long reach, I guess, but takes, more damage from Saber. On the other side, same thing. Assassin does more damage to Rider, because apparently he sneaks up on him before he gets on his fucking horse, but takes bonus damage from Caster, because Casters are magic bullshit. And then we have Berserker over here, which is a fun class. What's fun about Berserker? Berserkers do bonus damage to everybody, but also take bonus damage from everybody. So, they're the glass cannon class. They do a lot of damage, but they also can take a lot of damage, and they can wind up in pretty bad positions pretty quick. However, if you have a sufficiently leveled one, like say Hercules, you'll be pretty okay if you just kind of run them out there and just, start spamming Buster cards. And Shielder's special position is that she doesn't take any damage, or take any special damage from anyone, or do any special damage to anyone. So, her speciality is not being connected to the class affinity at all. So, that is how the classes in this game work. And as we fight more enemies, you might have been able to see so far up in the corner in the battle for the uninitiated, each of the enemies is of one of these classes. So, this is how we basically set up our fights before we go in. We make sure we have a somewhat balanced team for what we're going to encounter, and then we proceed to mop through the place. Though, frankly, on my phone, playing with Altera, I just leveled Altera so high that she can basically walk over literally anything with very little, if any, support. That's what happens when you get lucky. But whatever, this is work now, and so Elizabeth is, Elizabeth, until further notice, is apparently our waifu. Well, welcome to the idle game. But let's go see what Elizabeth's story is. I know it, but let's explain it to the entire audience. This is kind of silly, and it's ripe with anime, but please, hold your knees. The model for Carmilla, the vampire, the Countess of Blood. Well, she is. But the version summoned as a servant is a 14-year-old from a time before she committed all those horrifying crimes. Yeah, sure, the blood is just for dramatic effect. She is a sweets-loving servant that proclaims to be an idol. She still shows her legendary inhumanity in these ways, stuck up, overbearing, cruel, and merciless. Yes, she is the Blood Countess. As a cute anime girl. Attempting to be a pop idol. Yeah. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of rock and roll we're rolling with here. Also, Carmella, in her actual form, is also in the game, and she's quite spooky. But, well, now that we've introduced to our front woman, and we've gotten through a fair chunk of the exposition for the story, I think I'm going to cut it here. Seems like a good time to stop. So, thank you all for joining me on this, a descent into blackness in this horrible gambling, horrible gambling addiction-riped nightmare that is Fate Grand Order. But honestly, it's not that bad of a game, really. It's actually, well, in terms of mobile games, this is pretty high up there. At least for me, but then again, I don't really play mobile games terribly often. However, this is the thing that was going to make me play mobile games, but honestly, I want to use my phone to play games just to play this right now. The addiction has taken hold. However, I'd like to remind you all that Fate Grand Order is free, and you can find it on basically wherever the hell you get your apps. You can continue onwards, watching me, and also start your own adventures with your own heroes and your own waifus and your own crippling disappointment as you roll the gacha machine and don't get anything really all that amazing or good. Or you might be actually more lucky than me. It's all random chance, really. They're all dice. But the downside is they're all dice. So, well, in order to seal your fate, all you have to do is try your luck. But I have been your wonderful host, Fontaman, and I will see you next time.